Life and craft in wilderness. That's the channel we're looking at today, and the video is building complete winter angler's dugout. Thanks for joining me. Let's get into it. What the? Now I've got to start the whole video over again. This happens all the time. I thought starting a commentary channel would be a lot easier on editing and recording everything rather than my normal bushcraft channel. It takes me just as much time to edit these videos as doing the bushcraft ones. And the reason is my laptop just keeps dying on me. Like, I'll start recording. This is the second time I've started recording this video. Like, I've just been talking for the last 5 minutes and then it's just crashed on me and I've got to go back and start it again because it just won't play it. We'll try again. There we are, start of the video yet again. So yeah, nice winter area that he's in. Oh, it's just crashed on me again. Are you serious? Oh, man. What is wrong with this laptop? Now it doesn't want to work at all. Come on, you son of a Now the program's just crashed on me. I mean, I should do a video just reacting to my own reactions, trying to make a video. Oh, seriously? So what I'm dealing with is it crashes when I play the original video. It crashes when I play a version of it that has been converted into a different format. Then my video editor crashed on me, and the video editor itself, it doesn't store any like save points anymore. So like if the program would crash, I could recover everything I've done, but now it doesn't. It hasn't done that like 6 months. I've been, yeah, if it crashes, everything you've done, so you got to keep manually saving it. And if you forget to do that and you've done all these edits and it crashes, then you've lost it, like hours of work or half an hour of work, but you might have edited a lot of things in that time. It's just one of those days, really. All right, I'll try this a third time, and if I don't get it this time, fourth time. If I don't get it this fourth time, then yeah, I'll have to scrap it till tomorrow because I've got to go to work. We'll play it and we'll see what happens. All right, walking in the forest, getting to his site. Hello. Said hello to this guy 4 times. Nice winter wonderland. The problem with doing stuff in winter, like I've been in cold climates, but I've never built a shelter in a cold climate or with the snow on the ground. And the problems I see, there's a couple, or more than a couple, but the major problem I see is that every time you go to tie a knot and you've got gloves on, you got to take them off so you can actually tie the knot. Otherwise you're going to end up getting your gloves caught up in the knots when you're doing them up. And that's going to suck. So every time you take your glove off to tie that knot, your fingers are going to get cold. You're going to get snow and ice and stuff on them, and so you're going to have cold fingers all the time. But the other issue you're going to have is that you can't see anything underneath that snow. So you might start building your shelter and there might be a big heap of rocks directly there. It might be a massive big root and you don't know until you start digging into it. So yeah, there's definite problems. I think if I was doing this, the first thing I'd want to do is just clear all the snow off of the ground and see what I'm dealing with. And he's taken this on with this tiny little shovel. Now whether he did the whole lot with this tiny little shovel, I don't know. I'm assuming he did. But yeah, those little shovels, they hurt your back because you're like constantly bending down, and because you with a longer shovel you can stand up and get more leverage into it. Tiny shovels, yeah, and you don't get much of a shovel full each time. It's just one giant handful or double handful. So yeah, it takes a lot of work using a tiny shovel. They're cool for packing into places, but yeah, if you can get a longer handle or make a longer handle when you get out there, then definitely good. Like that there, like what we're looking at It's hours and hours of work to dig that out with that little shovel. Decent amount of snow there though. Always wanted to do an igloo. His back would be warming up by now. Hopefully he's just going to show this one log that he's done all this cutting with, and then all the rest he won't. Because I've seen a lot of videos where you get to see them cut every single log, and we don't need to. We just need to see the effort that goes into cutting one, and then we know how much effort's going to go into cutting all of them. So far I'm liking the flow of this video. Well, in saying that, yeah, just seems to slow down a fair bit there. And that's a good thing. Like in winter time, you don't have to worry about water seeping through the earth. When I say water seeping through the earth, when it rains, water soaks down and it will tend to flow along underground on a clay layer, or even just soaking in the ground above the shelter and then coming out as it soaks downhill. But in wintertime, you're not going to have that. You're mostly going to be getting snow, not rain. And the ground's going to be frozen anyway. So you're not going to have that water flowing through it. Yeah, come springtime, it might be a different issue. When that snow starts to melt and that soaks into the ground and starts coming out inside your shelter. But for wintertime, it's not going to be an issue. The earth shelter I did the similar way to what he's doing here. What sucks is when you're using these big heavy logs and you carry them in and you're trying to get them right, if you don't get it right the first time or first couple of times, and you're constantly putting them up there and checking things and taking them down and taking a bit more off and putting them up, it gets to be a pain because they're heavy and you just want to get it done. You just want to get it up there and get it right, and there's that little thing in your head between getting it done so it's good enough and perfection. Part of the problem with that too is with doing YouTube is that it might be good enough, but people watch the video and go, oh, it's not all that good because doesn't look fantastic. So you're trying to think about the aesthetics of it as well, which you wouldn't in a real world situation. You just want to have a functional shelter. But for YouTube, it's got to have that aesthetically pleasing look to it as well. So so it gets the views, and especially with the thumbnails, and you want something looking really cool. You don't want something looking like it's just been knocked together. So you find that you spend more time on them trying to get things looking really good when you don't really need to, just because of YouTube. What I'm liking about this shelter is it's not huge. Like they're huge logs that he's using there, but the shelter itself isn't. Yeah, been there, done that. But yeah, the shelter itself isn't that huge inside. Generally, the shelters I make them big just because I'm filming inside them and I need that space for the camera. But functional wise, the smaller you can make them, the easier they are to heat and keep warm, especially in this sort of environment that he's in. Now, I'm liking the size of this whole shelter, and it uses less material. And less material is less time to build, coming together. For me, when I'm doing a shelter build, there's you go through different stages. So in the planning stage, I'll be thinking about the shelter, I'll be excited, I'll be going, this is how I want it to look, and this is what I'm going to do to it. And then the first day you start work and you're going, yep, here I go. And then after the first couple of logs, it's like, oh, okay, just want this part done. And then you get the frame done, that framework, and you get a second wind. You're like, oh, right, now I'm on to the next part. And you start the next part, and then after a little bit, you're like, oh, okay, I'm over this now. I'm ready for the next part of the build. So you just keep constantly going through these little stages where you get to a point where you're like, oh, I'm over this. And you just got to push on and get through it, because you want to get to that next part of the build and next part and the next part. And before you know it, you've got a shelter built. Yeah, I'm really liking this shelter. Like, pretty solid piece of work that he's done right here. Like, this shelter build is, yeah, very decent. You know, when you watch the obviously fake videos of people going out and they're obviously using concrete and things to make water slides in jungles, and people rave about it and say about, you know, his fantastic building skills. Well, no, to me this is good building skills, because it's not so much a lot of skills required to do it. It's just basic skills and just thinking things through and being creative and finding the solutions to make it happen, and just doing the hard work. That's all it really is. It's just hard work to make it happen. I can guarantee you that not everything he did went to plan. He would have had issues, and you just got to make modifications and adapt to those situations. If you hear that noise, it's just there's a bird outside my window, and it's not first light here yet, and he's decided to sit out on my lawn and be annoying. Like that. Some people have a problem with using nails out in the bush. I've never done it so far on my Bushcraft channel. I've never used nails, but it's strange that people won't have a problem with taking out paracord and tarps and things to use, but then little tiny nails, they'll say, well, that's not Bushcraft. Is it better to, you know, practice skills without them? Well, yeah, I do, but I still don't see a problem with using nails. The location that he's in, they're all small trees, like thin trees and these gnarly looking twisted trees and that. But then all the timber that he's using to build the shelter are all these real big, thick, straight pieces. So I'm wondering how far away he had to go to get them, like how far he's transporting all these logs and things to his site from where he's collecting them. That's something we don't really see. And it'd be interesting to know just how far he's got to transport everything. I'm guessing we're working on our door here, putting our door together. And see, if you're using nails, it's so much easier to build a door. Like, it's insanely easier to build a door if you've got nails. Because if you don't have nails, you've got to either try to lash that together, or put it all together like that and then cut a dovetail join through it and, you know, have a rail running through to lock everything together. But yeah, if you've got nails, then it's so much easier just to go nail it all together. If you've got real big heavy duty nails, you can nail them in and bend them up to make a hinge for your door to hang on. But yeah, without nails, it's more challenging. You've got to come up with different solutions to the problem. I wonder if he could have extended his roof out, just so if you have a big dump of snow and you're inside and you're trying to then get your door open and you can't open your door because there's a couple of feet of snow on the other side of it and you can't push it out. That would create some issues. Hopefully he's got some good filming lights and we can have a good look at the interior. The first couple of fires that you have after your shelter build is pretty easy. You don't have to go out looking for firewood because all your offcuts are sitting there. So I'll generally try to stack them all up as I'm going, or push them into a heap, just so you're not stepping on them and they're rolling underneath you and you end up on your butt and twisting your ankle and stuff. By having all those little tiny offcuts all over the ground, I just keep pushing them into one spot, and then when it comes time to make your fire, it's all your firewood's in one little location. I like the fact that he's obviously got a good filming light in there now, so we can actually see what's going on inside. It's one of the challenges when you're doing things like this in a small shelter, to try to get the camera back enough that you can see what's going on, plus just to getting the lighting so you can actually see inside the shelter. So he's done a decent job there. I like it. Yep. So what do I think? Well, I liked it. I think I've made that pretty clear all the way through that video that I was enjoying the build. The only thing I would suggest was missing, and I'm guilty of it myself, is doing a little cooking section at the end of it. Like, you've got the stove done, and the video itself was enjoyable to watch. Put a link to it in the video description so you can go check the full video out. Till next time, thanks for watching. Catch us.